Hey, 7th graders. I hope you are having a spudtastic day. This is one of my favorite activities I do with my 7th graders during our genetics unit. It's called Spudtastic Genetics. Obviously, you guys have found the video. Great job. And you found the assignment, hopefully, so great job. If you haven't, it is in Teams assignment. This video is mainly for DLI. A and B kids, you guys will be doing this in class either Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday. And then if you guys are absent for either of those days, you'll probably need to play a game of catch up and be doing this online at home using the DLI instructions. So again, this video is mainly for DLI or any kids who are working remotely on this assignment. Okay, so first off, if you guys aren't already watching, this is the link to the video today. Okay, and our learning targets today are I can differentiate between genotype and phenotype. Remember, genotype is your combination of genes or alleles. Our alleles are different traits or variations we can see for a trait, and it's kind of what we would see our parents passing down to us. So we would get one copy of from mom and one copy from dad. And to write a genotype, we use letters, either capital or lowercase. And again, we would have two copies, one for mom, one for dad. I can identify the genotype and phenotype of an organism. So remember, phenotype is their physical appearance. So like I have brown eyes, that's my phenotype for eye color. I can explain how traits are passed down from parent to offspring. Okay, so what you guys are going to be looking at is you're going to be designing your own potato baby. And you're going to be looking at 13 different traits to tell us what your little unique potato baby is going to look like. So the very first trait is on our first slide. Okay, it's going to be a little bit different than every other trait because it's gender, and in order to determine the gender of an organism, it has nothing to do with a single gene but rather a whole chromosome. Okay, so genetics are a little bit different here. With that being said, you can either be a female and get a copy of the X chromosome from your mom and a copy of your X chromosome from your dad. Okay, however, if you are a male, you get a copy of your X chromosome from your mom, and then your dad passes you down a Y chromosome, which has different genes on it. Okay, so if you guys have the genotype XX, you're a female, and if you have the genotype XY, you are a male. Again, that's two copies of the X chromosome for a female versus a copy of the X and the Y for a male. Okay, so how you will do genotype on this one, will be a little bit different. So in order to determine your gender, because your mom has two X chromosomes, all she could really pass down to you is an X chromosome. So I have already filled in mom's letter for you down here. So you can see, all right, mom's going to pass us down the X chromosome. What we need to determine is what dad is going to pass you down. I'm going to do an example of this, but I want you guys to do your own because I don't want everyone to have the same gender for their potatoes. So DLI, obviously you guys have this little left-hand side. This is kind of a note for you since you guys will be doing this a little bit differently at home than the kiddos in class. So on the left, you guys have this link for random number generator. I want you guys to go ahead and open that link. Okay. Gender is a little different. Mom can only pass down an X, so just roll once for dad. Okay, if you roll an even number, dad's going to pass down the X chromosome, and if you roll an odd number, dad will pass down the Y chromosome. So again, you guys are going to do this yourself, but I'm just going to show you an example what it looks like. So here's my random number generator. It doesn't matter what my minimum and maximum are because we're just looking at odd and even numbers. So I'm going to hit generate. 4. So I got an even number, so I'm going to look and again say an even number, dad's passing down an X. So dad's letter would be an X, okay? Your little beautiful spudtastic baby will be a female. So its genotype would be XX. Remember, that's our combination of genes or alleles. And then the phenotype would be, if you guys look right here, XX is a female, okay? So you guys would go and add a bow to your sweet little potato baby, okay? The rest that are marked NA, don't worry about those. Those don't apply to gender. We'll talk about them on the next slide. So the very last, not the very last, but slide 15 of your guys' experiment is your beautiful blank slate for your baby. So I can go and say mine's a female. So I'm going to go grab this cute little pink bow and I'm going to put it on the head of my cute little spud baby. Okay? So you guys will do the same thing on yours, obviously. And then I'm going to go on to my next trait. So from here, our examples are going to be a little bit different. So now we're looking at a specific gene and not a whole chromosome like gender. You guys will have a letter designated to each trait. So in trait 2, we're talking about the size of their eyes. We see we have a capital N, which is our dominant trait, gives us 2 eyes, one of each size, glued right next to each other. Okay, versus our recessive trait is 2 of the same size eyes. So you're going to roll your random generator twice. If you roll an even number, you're going to have a dominant trait. So I'm going to roll once for mom and see what mom passes down. So I'm going to go ahead. I got an even number. I got a 22. So that means that we're going to do the dominant trait. We're going to do a capital N under there. So mom's going to pass down a capital N. Dad, we're going to go back and do the same thing. 42, another even number, okay? So again, even number would be another dominant trait. So a capital N, capital N. So obviously, you don't get to choose what your babies look like, okay? We don't live in that kind of world. If that were the case, we would never have any types of genetic diseases. So with that being said, use the random number generator and have some fun with it, okay? Our baby's genotype would be big N, okay? Because we got a big N from mom and a big N from dad. So our baby's genotype is big N, big N. Is the phenotype dominant or recessive? Well, in this case, we're going to be showing the dominant trait regardless because we have 2 traits of it. So we would say dominant. What is the phenotype? The phenotype would be 2 different size eyes. Okay? And I'll go ahead and fix that table so you guys have a little bit more room to type those answers. Okay, and classify the genotype as either homozygous dominant. So remember, homo means the same. Homozygous recessive, again, homo means the same. Or heterozygous, hetero means a mix. So if we're looking at our genotype, we have 2 of the same. We have 2 capital letters here, and they're both capital. So again, that would be dominant. So you guys would say homozygous dominant. Okay. So you guys will fill in this table for that trait. Then again, you guys would go down to slide 15. And you guys would say, all right, I have 2 different sized eyes. Oh, this is going to be such a beautiful baby. Okay, so there's my sweet little spud baby so far. Okay, you guys again would do the same thing. You guys would add it on. Some of these you'll have to draw on. So let's talk about trait 3. We've got hair color and hair texture. So you can either have green or purple hair, I believe. There we go. And or straight or curly hair. So once you guys figure those out, you guys can go into your potato baby and say, all right, going to my draw feature. I'm going to choose my pen. I'm going to have some purple curly hair. So once again, you guys have that. It tells you guys how many hairs to draw. But it might look something like that. You guys basically are going to have the most beautiful babies ever. Okay? So at any rate, that's how you guys are doing this assignment today. You have 13 traits to get through. Like I said, for each trait, use the random number generator twice. Once to see what mom passes down, evens or dominants, odds or recessive, and then a second time to see what your other parent or your dad passes down. You guys will decorate up your cute little bumbling baby here. And the favorite part for most of my students is to name it. Okay, so you guys will need to click back in here and name this sweet little baby whatever you choose. Okay, that is up to you. Be creative. And then finally, to wrap up, any questions, circle yes or no. If you have a question, type it in right here. Obviously, if it's something that you guys need help on, to finish this assignment, send me a message in Teams and I can help you out. And then go ahead and circle or highlight how you guys feel you did. 4, 3, 2, 1 scale. Turn this assignment in when you're done, and I hope you guys have fun with this and that you guys are having a great day.